All right, so you send us this LLM underscore AI underscore security underscore and underscore governance underscore checklist hyphen v1.1.pdf.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly, you're looking to really level up your AI game here. And
absolutely.
This checklist seems like the perfect place to start, especially with all these tools like ChatGPT just exploding on the scene.
Well, what's interesting about this checklist is that it's not just for, the hardcore techies or coders or AI engineers.
Right.
It's really geared towards leaders and security folks.
Yeah.
Because the implications of this technology
go
way beyond, just writing a clever poem or generating, a cool image.
You're telling me, I mean, we've all seen what ChatGPT can do.
Right.
And then you've got Llama 2 from Meta, 11 Labs creating those crazy realistic voices, and then Midjourney making art that like rivals human artists.
Exactly. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, the AI wave is here.
It's wild.
And it's moving faster than I think most people realize.
Yeah.
And this checklist is really like a crash course in understanding the risks and the opportunities, particularly around LLMs, large language models.
LLMs. Okay, so we've all heard of AI, but LLMs, they seem to be the new kid on the block.
Right.
What makes them so different from, say, like the AI that recommends my next binge-worthy show?
Well, think of it this way. Traditional AI is kind of like a really good student who's like memorized the textbook.
Okay.
They can answer specific questions, follow instructions, but they don't really understand the material.
Okay.
LLMs, on the other hand, are more like that student who not only understands the material, but can actually write a new chapter in the author's style.
Wow.
They use semantic search.
Okay.
Which means they grasp the meaning of text.
Got it.
Not just the keywords.
So they're like the ultimate overachiever.
Yeah.
But that sounds like it could also be a problem, right?
Right, because of this semantic understanding.
Okay.
LLMs can sometimes generate incorrect or even nonsensical information.
Yeah.
And we call this hallucination.
Hallucination?
Yeah, so imagine like an LLM-powered security system.
Okay.
That misinterprets network activity as normal.
Uh-oh.
Allowing a data breach to go unnoticed.
Okay, that's a little scary.
Right.
So how do we even begin to wrap our heads around securing these things?
Well, that's where this checklist comes in.
Okay.
It breaks down the key areas you need to consider, starting with understanding the different ways that you can actually use and deploy LLMs.
Okay.
Do you want to use a public app?
Right.
Build your own custom model?
Yeah.
Something in between?
Okay.
Each approach has its own trade-offs.
Sure.
Between convenience and control.
So it's kind of like choose your own AI adventure, but with some serious security guardrails.
Exactly. And speaking of security, the checklist goes deep on the adversarial risks.
Okay.
It encourages you to think like the bad guys.
Oh.
How could a competitor use AI against you?
Right.
Could your existing security practices withstand an AI-powered attack?
So even basic things like password resets might need a rethink in the age of AI.
Absolutely. I mean, we're talking about hyper-personalized phishing attacks.
Wow.
That exploit individual interests.
Crazy.
And online behavior hackers could even use AI to craft malware that's specifically designed to bypass your defenses.
It's like a whole new level of cyber warfare.
It is.
And then there's this whole issue of shadow AI.
Right.
Which is basically employees using unapproved AI tools.
Right.
Right.
It's a huge risk, especially with these free AI tools becoming so accessible.
Yeah.
I mean, someone might think they're being helpful by using a chatbot to handle customer data.
Yeah, to be efficient.
Right, but they could be opening up this huge security hole without even realizing it.
Yikes. Okay, so we've got external threats and internal risks. Sounds like we need a serious plan.
That's where threat modeling comes in.
Okay.
The checklist really emphasizes the importance of this, especially in an AI-powered world.
Yeah.
It's all about proactively identifying vulnerabilities and mitigating them before an attacker can exploit them.
Can you give us a real-world example of how that would work?
Sure. So let's say your company uses an LLM chatbot for customer service.
Okay.
Threat modeling would help you anticipate potential weaknesses.
Okay. Like
an attacker manipulating the chatbot to reveal sensitive customer data.
Oh, no.
Or even take control of customer accounts.
Right.
By thinking like the attacker, you can build in safeguards.
Okay.
To prevent those kinds of scenarios.
So it's like a proactive approach to security.
Exactly.
Rather than just reacting after something bad has happened.
Right. And this checklist really drives home the need for continuous testing and monitoring.
Okay.
Especially with AI systems.
Yeah.
I mean, the technology is evolving so rapidly that what works today might not be effective tomorrow.
Right.
You need to be constantly vigilant.
Sure.
And adapt your defenses accordingly.
All right, so threat modeling, continuous testing, keeping an eye out for those sneaky shadow AI users.
Yep.
What else does this checklist highlight?
Well, one crucial step is taking inventory of your AI assets.
Okay.
Now, it sounds simple, but you'd be surprised how many organizations have a clear understanding of what AI tools they're using, where their data comes from, who has access to it.
It's like taking stock of your AI toolbox and making sure you're not using any rusty or potentially dangerous tools.
Precisely, you need to understand the potential biases of any AI model you're using.
Yeah.
The limitations of its training data.
Okay.
And any potential security vulnerabilities.
Sure.
And this is especially important when you're dealing with sensitive information.
It all makes sense, but it also sounds like a lot to keep track of.
It definitely can be.
Yeah.
But that's why this checklist is so valuable.
Okay.
It provides a framework for thinking about AI security and governance in a comprehensive way, breaking down these complex concepts into manageable steps.
So it's like having a roadmap to navigate this uncharted territory.
Exactly.
It sounds like we've only just scratched the surface of this checklist.
We have.
Where do we go from here?
Well, one thing that really jumps out at me is the emphasis on training.
Okay, training.
And this isn't just about technical skills.
Right.
It's about building a culture of responsible AI usage throughout your entire organization.
Got it.
Everyone from the CEO to the intern needs to understand the potential risks and best practices.
So it's not just about having the right technology in place. It's also about having the right mindset.
Absolutely. And speaking of mindset, the checklist also emphasizes the importance of having a solid business case before diving headfirst into any AI initiative.
I see.
It's easy to get caught up in the hype, but you need to make sure that AI is actually solving a real problem for your business and that the benefits outweigh the risks.
So it's about ensuring that AI is a strategic asset rather than just a shiny new toy.
Right. And that leads us to another crucial aspect highlighted in the checklist. Governance?
All right, let's dive into that.
Okay.
What does governance look like in the context of AI?
Good question.
All right, so governance. What does that actually look like when we're talking about AI?
Well, governance is all about setting clear guidelines and responsibilities for how AI is used within your organization. Think of it like establishing the rules of the road for AI to make sure it stays on track and doesn't, veer off into dangerous territory.
So who's in the driver's seat?
Well, this checklist recommends creating an AI RACI chart.
RACI chart.
Yeah, RACI stands for Responsible, Accountable, Consulted, and Informed.
Okay.
So it clearly defines who's in charge of what at each stage of the AI lifecycle.
Got it.
From development and deployment all the way to monitoring and maintenance.
That makes sense. You don't want people, stepping on each other's toes or important decisions falling through the cracks.
Exactly. And good governance also includes robust data management policies. This checklist really stresses the importance of technical enforcement for data classification and usage limitations.
Yeah.
Remember, AI models are only as good as the data they're trained on.
Right. Garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. If you're feeding them garbage, you're going to get garbage out.
So data quality and security are absolutely essential.
Couldn't agree more. And then there's the whole legal minefield to navigate.
Oh, yeah.
Which this checklist doesn't shy away from.
Yeah, the legal stuff always seems to be where things get complicated.
It's true. And the legal implications of AI are still evolving.
Right.
Which makes it even trickier. This checklist highlights some key areas of concern. Like intellectual property rights, liability issues, and the fact that regulations are constantly changing.
Let's start with intellectual property. If I use an AI tool to write a song or create a piece of art, who owns the rights to that creation? That's
a great question, and unfortunately there's no easy answer. Copyright law typically requires human authorship. So the whole concept of AI-generated content kind of throws a wrench in the system.
So it's a bit of a legal gray area right now.
Exactly. And then you have the issue of AI models being trained on copyrighted material. Could the output generated by those models be considered copyright infringement? These are complex questions that are still being debated in the courts.
So we need to be extra careful about using AI-generated content, especially for commercial purposes. Probably a good idea to get a lawyer involved early on.
Definitely. And then you've got the whole question of liability.
Liability.
What happens if an AI system malfunctions and causes harm? Who's responsible? The developer, the user, the organization deploying the system.
Yeah, those are some serious questions. What if a self-driving car powered by AI makes a wrong decision and causes an accident? Or an AI-powered medical diagnosis tool misdiagnoses a patient?
Exactly. The potential consequences of AI malfunctioning can be huge. And as AI becomes more integrated into critical systems, the stakes just get higher.
It seems like we might need a whole new legal framework to deal with the unique challenges posed by AI.
I think a lot of legal experts would agree with you.
Yeah.
We're in uncharted territory here.
For sure.
And traditional legal concepts might not be enough to address the complexities of AI systems.
And to make things even more challenging, this checklist mentions that regulations are constantly changing.
It's true.
It seems like governments are struggling to keep up with the rapid pace of AI development.
Yeah, we're seeing new laws and regulations popping up all over the place.
I know, it's crazy.
From the EU's General Data Protection Regulations, to California's Consumer Privacy Act.
Yep.
And then you've got specific laws being proposed to regulate things like facial recognition technology and the use of AI in hiring decisions. It's a lot to keep track of.
So staying informed and adapting to these changes is going to be crucial for any organization that wants to use AI responsibly. This checklist really emphasizes that.
But it's not just about avoiding legal trouble.
Right.
It's about doing the right thing.
Okay.
And ensuring that AI is used ethically and for the benefit of society.
Well said. And speaking of doing the right thing, this checklist dives into some really interesting concepts around transparency and accountability. Tell me more about model cards and risk cards. What are they all about?
Think of model cards and risk cards as nutrition labels for AI models.
Okay, nutrition labels.
Yeah. They provide essential information about how the model was trained, its intended use cases, its limitations, and any potential risks associated with its use.
So it's like a way of making AI more transparent and understandable.
Exactly. Model cards help users understand what the model is good at, what it might struggle with, and what kind of data it was trained on.
Got it.
Risk cards go a step further by outlining potential negative consequences and suggesting mitigation strategies.
That's a great way to put it. It's like giving AI a conscience, or at least making it more clear how it might be used or misused.
And this kind of transparency is crucial for building trust in AI systems.
Yeah.
Especially as they become more integrated into our lives.
This whole conversation about security governance and legal considerations has definitely highlighted the potential risks of AI.
Yeah.
But let's not forget about the incredible opportunities.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
This checklist also covers some really exciting advancements. Like RAG. What can you tell us about that?
RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation.
Retrieval Augmented Generation.
Yeah, and it's all about making LLMs even smarter and more powerful.
Okay, smarter and more powerful.
Essentially, it allows LLMs to access external knowledge sources. Like databases, websites, research papers in real time.
So it's like giving LLMs access to the entire internet, but in a way that they can actually understand and use the information.
Exactly. Imagine an AI assistant that can not only answer your questions, but also pull up the latest research papers.
That would be amazing.
News articles or even your company's internal documents. To provide you with the most comprehensive and up-to-date information possible.
That's the power of RAG.
That's the power of RAG.
That's amazing. It's like having a research assistant who can instantly access and process any information you need. The possibilities are endless.
They really are. From personalized education to groundbreaking scientific discoveries.
Wow.
RAG has the potential to revolutionize countless fields.
And as we explore this uncharted territory, this checklist also highlights a valuable tool for identifying and mitigating potential vulnerabilities, AI red teaming.
AI red teaming is like ethical hacking, but specifically for AI systems. It involves having a team of security experts try to break into your AI systems, exploit vulnerabilities, and find weaknesses before malicious actors can do the same.
So it's like a dress rehearsal for a cyber attack, but with the goal of making your AI defenses stronger.
Exactly. And it's not just about finding technical vulnerabilities. It's also about understanding how attackers might manipulate the AI model itself, exploit biases in the training data, or use social engineering tactics to trick the system.
That's fascinating. It sounds like AI red teaming requires a really deep understanding of both AI technology and cybersecurity best practices.
It definitely does. And it's an essential part of any comprehensive AI security strategy.
For sure.
Remember, the AI landscape is constantly evolving.
Always changing.
And the threats are becoming more sophisticated all the time. We need to be proactive and constantly challenging our assumptions about how AI systems might be exploited.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. This checklist has really taken us on a journey through the world of AI. From the basic concepts to the advanced techniques, the potential risks, and the incredible opportunities.
For sure.
It's clear that organizations need to be prepared to navigate this complex landscape.
They do.
If they want to reach the benefits of AI without falling victim to the potential pitfalls.
You've hit the nail on the head. This checklist is like a roadmap. For any organization that wants to embark on the AI journey, it's a starting point. but it provides a solid foundation for building a secure, responsible, and successful AI strategy.
And speaking of starting points, this checklist highlights some really valuable resources.
It does.
For organizations looking for guidance and support.
Yeah, it points to two organizations in particular, OWASP and MITRE.
Okay, refresh my memory on those. What do they do?
OWASP stands for the Open Web Application Security Project.
Open Web Application Security Project.
Yep, they offer a ton of resources.
Okay.
Including the OWASP SAM, which is a framework for assessing and improving software security maturity.
Okay.
And the OWASP AI Security and Privacy Guide, which is a great starting point for anyone looking to learn more about AI security.
And what about MITRE?
MITRE is a nonprofit research and development organization that's known for its work in cybersecurity.
Okay.
They maintain the MITRE ATT&CK framework,
ATT&CK,
which is a knowledge base of adversary tactics and techniques.
Okay.
And MITRE Atlas, which specifically focuses on threats to AI systems.
So between OWASP and MITRE, there's a wealth of information and expertise available.
There it is.
To help organizations navigate the complexities of AI security.
Exactly. And those are just a couple of examples.
Right.
I mean, there are tons of other resources out there.
Sure.
And it's important to stay connected to the AI community, attend conferences, keep up with the latest research and best practices.
It sounds like continuous learning is key in this rapidly evolving field.
Absolutely. The AI landscape is changing so quickly.
It's moving so fast.
That what's cutting edge today might be obsolete tomorrow.
Yeah.
You need to stay curious, keep learning, and be willing to adapt to new challenges and opportunities as they arise.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful.
I agree.
We've covered so much ground.
We have.
But I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of this fascinating and complex world of AI.
I agree. And it's important to remember that this checklist is just the beginning.
Right.
The real work begins when you start applying these concepts and principles to your own organization and your own specific use cases.
That's a great point. This checklist provides a framework.
It does.
But it's up to each individual organization to take ownership of their AI strategy.
Exactly.
And build a system that works for them.
There's no one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to AI security and governance.
Right.
You need to assess your own risks, determine your own priorities, and tailor your approach accordingly.
And as you embark on this journey, it's important to remember that AI is a powerful tool.
It is.
That can be used for good or for ill.
Right.
It's up to us to ensure that AI is used responsibly, ethically, and for the benefit of all humankind.
Well said. The future of AI is not predetermined.
I like that.
It's a future that we're actively shaping with our choices and actions.
Right.
Let's strive to create a future where AI empowers us, enhances our lives, and helps us build a better world for everyone.
That's an inspiring message. I think we've given our listener a lot to think about today.
I hope so. And remember, this is just the beginning of the conversation.
Right.
The world of AI is full of possibilities.
For sure.
And the more we learn, the better equipped we'll be to navigate the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
But I want to circle back to that thought-provoking question you posed earlier.
Oh, you mean the one about the biggest opportunity and the biggest risk I see with AI?
Exactly. I'm dying to hear your thoughts on that. It really got me thinking, too.
Well, for me, the biggest opportunity lies in AI's potential to augment human capabilities.
Okay.
It's not about replacing humans.
Right.
But empowering us to solve complex problems, make better decisions, and unlock new levels of creativity and innovation.
I love that. It's about taking us further than we could go on our own.
Exactly.
What about the flip side? What do you see as the biggest risk?
The biggest risk, in my opinion, is the potential for misuse.
Okay.
Whether intentional or unintentional.
Right.
We need to be incredibly careful about addressing issues like discrimination, and the potential for AI to be weaponized.
It's like any powerful tool, it can be used to build or destroy.
Exactly.
We need to make sure it's in the right hands with the right safeguards.
Absolutely. And that requires ongoing dialogue, collaboration, and a serious commitment to transparency and accountability.
This isn't just a tech industry issue either.
It's not.
It affects policymakers, educators, everyone in society, really.
Everyone. We need to be having open and honest conversations about the potential impact of AI.
Yeah.
Both good and bad.
For sure.
And work together to shape a future where it truly serves humanity's best interests.
This deep dive has given me a whole new perspective.
Good.
I'm walking away with a sense of both excitement and caution.
Yeah.
It's a wild ride we're on.
It is.
And we need to be prepared.
We do. So what does this all mean for our listener today?
Yeah.
They've got this checklist. They've heard our breakdown.
Right. What's the one key takeaway they should walk away with?
I think this checklist is a fantastic starting point, but the real work begins with taking ownership.
Okay, taking ownership.
Assess your specific risks and needs, tailor your approach, and remember, AI is a powerful tool that can be used for good or for ill.
Right.
It's up to all of us to ensure it's used responsibly and ethically.
We've given them a lot to think about today, but more importantly, we've hopefully given them the tools and knowledge to start asking the right questions.
Knowledge is power, especially in a field as complex and rapidly evolving as AI.
Yeah.
The more we learn, the better prepared we'll be to navigate the incredible opportunities and challenges that lie ahead.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay engaged in this crucial conversation. The future of AI is being written right now, and we all have a role to play.
Until next time, happy exploring.